Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I'm Lirong. I'm a senior data analyst and also researcher of AHP. So I'm presenting the literature review on the integration of AI and AHP ANP. My co-author Elena and I started this idea of taking advantage of the AI technology to see how we can integrate it with AHP in the software, like doing the chatbot. So we started this idea. The first thing we want to see is what is already out there. So we started this literature review. So what we wanted to do a comprehensive review of AI integration with AHP and ANP, and we also wanted to do some case analysis to see how it's being used in all the various areas, especially in healthcare, supply chain, and energy policy. Those are the areas that has been using AHP and ANP, and also wanted to identify what the challenges are there and the trends for future research. First of all, to do the review, we distinguished the machine learning with generative AI. It's hard to put a line between them, but when we talk about machine learning, when we research on it, we are more focusing on the predictive and the efficiency of the algorithms and the models. So like linear regression, like clustering, they all have specific purposes. So people using history data to train the models and to use it to do predictions. So they focus on the data, how they can accurately predict the future data and how can it efficiently be calculated. Those are like all the complex calculations that is hard for human or will take a long time for human to do. But when we talk about AI, more recently, it's been really a hot topic. It's originally developed from actually a small branch inside machine learning, like natural language processing, but it's more focusing on creativity because it's being trained by this massive amount of data, like trillions of words, and it's being fed by like text, image, or other medias, and it's focusing on creating new content. So that's the difference between them. So when we talk about when we do the review, we are more focusing on the AI integration. First of all, with the review, it's being used in real world applications. I don't think we can avoid it today. We've been used in our personal life, like on the smartphones. We use the all this different kind of voice recognition assistant like Siri, Alexa, Google Assistant to help us to do like a simple task like alarms and notes. And in the business field, they've been using it for chatbot like to do the customer surveys, customer surveys. And it's also been used in self-driving softwares and automated cars. And also now it's being used in the city planning, like traffic flow optimization. And also, then we wanted to focus on the decision-making field, how it's being used in the healthcare, in the energy policy and the supply chain management. So in the healthcare, it's integrating with the AI is being integrating with AHP to deal with complex scenarios. So AI can help to come up with all those complex scenarios, and the AHP is used in the framework to consider all the mapping criteria. So it's being used especially under those uncertainty. So and next, in the supply chain management, AI is more used to to do the predictions and to do the optimizations, because they can really take in all the vast amount of the data, and then AHP is more used integrated with it to do multi-criteria, and also to use the for supplier selections to do the evaluations. And yeah, AI is more used in the optimization stage and the process. And in the energy policy, people begin researching on the hybrid IHP systems for sustainability and the resource prioritization. So AI is being used to process all the huge amount of data, so it can be used for prediction, optimization, and HSP can be tool as used to provide qualitative data and for as used as tool for experts to do ratings and to rank alternatives. So it's all being used for all different fields. So through those applications, we want to discover what is the AI rule in HP and AP method, and what advancement and what are the challenges. So we found that it's being used with AHP almost in all the stages. It's being used to inform AHP criteria. So AI is used to analyze all those textual data from surveys, reports, and feedback to extract the criteria. And it's also being used to extract the quantification from the qualitative data like text to generate pairwise comparisons and weights. And it's also used to automate the integration of those unstructured data to reduce our human manual effort and human input to reduce the bias. And it also supports for diverse perspectives from all different perspectives, just because it's being trained on the huge amount of data. So it helps to do the group decisions from all different perspectives. So yeah, but there are still challenges using it to integrate with AHP and other decision methods because it's data quality and interpretation is very challenging to use, and because it's really dependent on the data is being trained. And the nature of it's a black box. We don't know what is behind it, the complexity. It's all causing those challenges for people to use it. So in the future directions, people are also researching on how to integrate AHP with AI technology to integrate more with big data and IoT, like real-time data, and focusing on more adaptive systems and to improve the transparency and the trust in AI models. Yeah. So that's our fun so far. Yeah, I'm open to questions and discussions. And as my co-authors are also here, and we're all here to answer any questions. And those are the emails that you can also contact. Thank you.
Do you mean that I cannot have any questions?
We're counting on you, Elena, to ask a question, please.
Okay, I'm afraid that I asked a question to ourselves, Lirong, but as we were working with this model and all of these applications, what is your perspective on what would be the best way to integrate AHP, specifically AHP, with AI in the different stages, like right now, as it is the situation, in 2 years from now, and maybe even long term? How would you imagine that things will go?
Yeah, good question and a hard question. Yeah, so yeah, as we see in the literature, it's actually been used in all the steps now already, but it's really at a very early stage. Like we use its knowledge that it's learned like all different kinds of literatures already. It's like a big library that we can use to extract the criteria. And I know it's being used in the software already to like give hint to people, give it a topic to see what criteria it could be to be considered in specific problems. So this one use, and I'm also thinking of, as we discussed, using it to instead of giving like a huge amount of questions in questionnaires, we use discussions, and we can take advantage of those voice recognition and the text to more qualitative data, and then mapping it to different skills and put it in as judgment to reduce the bias, and to mimic people's judgment process thinking. It's definitely can also used to do the integrations from all different perspectives, like doing the group decisions. Yeah, I can see it can be used and have more development in all different process.
Valerio, please.
Well, at first, thank you for your great presentation. And I have a silly question about the title. The title starts with literature review, but
Yes.
I missed the literature review. I saw much concept of the integration, but did you perform a review on the Scopus, Web of Science?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, thank you for the question, Valeria. Yeah, this is more of early stage of our research. We want to do this in literature review. What I present is not what we are doing. It's more of the what's in the literature. And we are actually still collecting more papers. It's just a long process to read them all. But what I just presented is what we found so far in all the case studies in all the literatures. And we used more Google Scholars. At first, we wanted to use actually ChatGPT to collect the literatures, but we found that it's making up the papers. It's not giving actual papers. So we use the Google Scholar because it's a more comprehensive library. It includes almost all the database, not only web science and all the literatures out there. I hope that answers your question.
Valerio, essentially we chose in the presentation instead to go through each and every paper as we did in the abstract that goes with this presentation, to focus on what the papers were talking about. So the concepts that Lirong was presenting are summarizing what we have found out so far with applications of AI with decision making, generally, not always AHP and ANP. How have they integrated so far the AHP or the decision making method of their choice with AI? And it does aim to, at a later stage, to be presented as a full literature review, but we didn't want to show the statistical data related to that because we don't feel that we have fulfilled our goal to show all the papers for the last 5 years. Do we have any other questions? We have plenty of time, so any discussion. We are open to any discussion, I guess.
So I guess I have sort of a similar question to what Valerio was asking. Did you look at papers that were talking about integrating AI with decision making? Papers are already written about that?
Yes, there are papers that have applied this integration. So there are papers that they integrate. And now I'm reading also from the Philippines that the University of the Philippines is building a mobile app that uses AI to pre-diagnose and AHP to suggest the healthcare facilities based on that. One of our attendees just shared that with us. So there are a lot of papers that are coming out lately. The problem that we face with Lirong is that a lot of papers call themselves AI integration with decision making, while essentially not being yet there. Meaning that just using ChatGPT doesn't make it an AI integration with decision making. And that's actually, Valerio, that's our, let's say, difficulty with this literature review is that so many papers claim in their titles, in their abstracts, that they are integrating AI with decision making, while essentially it is either looking up criteria in ChatGPT that it's not exactly integrating. It's more using an enhanced search engine at that level, or taking the judgment, which is even more dangerous and scary than taking the criteria from ChatGPT. So there is a lot of classification work. Yeah, go ahead.
So let me pursue this just a bit more. So in the papers, they say we're integrating AI with whatever healthcare or something decisions, and they only use it to find out what the criteria are for that particular healthcare decision or something, and they count them or something. Is that what happens? They're just using it to get the data into their paper.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's a trendy topic and brings in views and everything, you have to be very careful whether a paper should be classified as AI integration with decision making, or it just uses a little bit of the extra tools that are available now out there. I'm not sure if I answered, but I tried.
Yeah. So did you find some that actually do integrate AI?
We have found a couple so far, to be honest.
Yeah.
Probably 3 or 4 really try to integrate AI with decision making. And that's where Lirong started talking about machine learning, because
Yeah.
there is the other distinction. Many times they have machine learning and all the big data analysis, and it's passed as AI, which is not exactly right. So it's a lot about definitions and classifications that is needs to be done to find out what should we call integration of AI with decision making at the end of the day.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of what I would like to understand.
That's kind of the point that we're trying to. At the end, it's very early work, as Lirong said, but the end literature review aims to find out what should be called AI integration with decision making at this point of time. Valerio, I think that you wanted to add something.
Yes, I think that Roseanne can remember one paper from 1990. The name of the paper is Incomplete Pairways Comparisons, and the author name is Patrick Harker.
Mm-hmm.
He was a professor in the University of Pennsylvania, but he is not a professor anymore. And he proposes in that time, we are talking about 3 decades ago, the name he used was expert system. He proposed one expert system for the case when we have large matrix in comparison matrix in AHP to reduce the number of judgments. The IPC is an algorithm that is very complex because it is based in mathematics, in derivation of matrices, and by my own, it is not applied. I applied it in my PhD dissertation, and I give a PhD diploma to use the IPC in AMP. But the software expert choice, decision lens, super decisions, we don't need to fulfill the whole matrix. The whole matrix, we only, if we only compare a single line, the software can compute the other comparisons.
Mm-hmm.
But we lost the consistency checking.
Yes.
And tomorrow will be a very interesting talk about a different method named best worst method. In my opinion, my humble opinion, this method is something, some application in AHP theory to reduce the number of comparisons. But we lost the consistency. The consistency checking is one of the most mathematically beautiful parts of AHP and also practical and attractive of AHP. So I like very much your presentation when you divide machine learning from generative AI. So I believe that you are in the right way. Is that it? Thank you.
Thank you. Enrique?
Yes, thank you. This is an interesting presentation and discussion. Now, AI decision making is, as Elena mentioned, very trendy now. And I know there are many ongoing studies and literature reviews in that area, and the same in AI in AHP, AMP. That's when AMP appeared. Sorry, when AI appeared, the first question was, hey, how can we use this in AHP, AMP? So I think you need to give a twist. You need to be different from just a literature review of AHP and AI. And so perhaps the key question is, how do you define integration? Because the literature reviews I've seen that tend to be very generic. Wherever there is AHP and AI mentioned in the same paper, then we have a work. But you are being more specific, which is good, which is the integration of AHP with AI. I think you need to define that very carefully. What do you mean? And to focus in there, because I know several studies, but they all talk about AI in AHP, AI in decision making, and it's just when these two things appear together. So I think you have an opportunity with integration, but you need to be very clear. How is this different from just using both in the same project?
I think that you're absolutely right, and we should definitely focus on that. We are also trying to focus, it might not work out, but on the differences in AI systems, because AI happens to be a very generic and very old term, essentially. AI is just a trained network. What do we mean when we are talking about AI? So we are trying to classify machine learning versus large language models, ChatGPT, versus actual trained AI systems. That I think that we saw only one paper so far that somebody created, set up, trained a network with data in order to do specific activities related to decision making. The rest of the cases was either using large language models, which is one thing, acceptable, but is a specific thing, or many more times they were talking about machine learning and confusing it with AI, which has a difference, and the essential difference is whether new content is created, whether assumptions and conclusions are made from pre-existing data or just classified data. Machine learning is about classifying, organizing, categorizing existing data. When you go to AI, you are talking about generating information from existing information based on rules. And based on the carrot and slap on the hand method, if something goes well, get reinforced. If something is wrong during the training, you get a little bit of a slap on the hand and you go on. So we're trying to see those three. And the truth is, as Lirong mentioned at the very beginning, that we started this process because we want to implement our own AI integrated large language model. And we wanted to see how other people are doing it. And in the process came also this idea of literature review. I think
Thank you.
Thank you. Lirong, did you have anything to add? Sorry.
No, I like to answer all. That's early.
All right. If we don't have anything else, I think that we can conclude this session. And our next session will be at 10:15.